They're bringing Crazy Guy in as the IGL. Things look shaky
Zeta
against
on
Gnome
attack,
They're able to
RRQ on
bounce right
defense.
back, fix a lot of the
Both teams
issues,
at
I think, in
1-1,
their
so this
macro
one
game,
is
coming into
insanely
the previous
important.
match. Here today, Zeta,
70%
a similar story. I think
pistol
their
win
macro
rate.
game's a lot
Jesus.
better. I think their ideas are more coherent, more coordinated, and you got to give the coaching staff some credit on both sides.
They're getting aggressive here as Cushy able to find himself a second kill.
So nice.
Back
Stun salvos kind of isolate the jewels a little bit, but
could have been looking at a 3v3,
that was solid.
It's going to be Jimkin's life handed over for some very solid map control. Now a double stack here on the ramp for RRQ.
Yeah, dude, this guy's been a great
Cushy
pickup,
Crazy
though.
Guy will look to try to bring this round to its conclusion.
As much as they're talking about Crazy Guy, like this pickup was sick.
They're going to smoke main and then try to fight up into this, but I don't think they anticipated a second player.
It's a really nice pistol from them.
So Crazy Guy will go ahead.
And definitely comes down to that aim duel, really, though, from Cushy.
RRQ looking really nice with their coordination and some of these ideas off the rip. Happy to contest for this space. Use those salvos to clear the back. Just worry about the players up front.
He's got lovely movement there. He's hot to hit.
Jemkin go in there, do what he
Side
does
step
best,
and
get that
crouch.
first kill. Crazy Guy able to follow up and then bait, or get baited for by his teammate. Really nice job overall by RRQ. For Zeta,
Chat, what are the Americas games today?
I really like the way that XDLL plays the breach here. I think he's really quite on point with the util, with the timing. Depp has been phenomenal on the Yoru on this map. He topped the charts when they played
G2 and 2G crew.
This is a potentially good map for Zeta. They're going to have to get through a lot of util here, and they're just going to back off momentarily.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of a fight G2... Nope. NRG put up. Oh, they go for the double TP, but honestly, as soon as he hears that smoke, I feel like someone calls it.
It's looking like RRQ doing their homework, knowing how these Euro comps want to try to play around this B site. As just through the smoke, showed them not going to be given any
this is an insane
whatsoever.
start for them.
For
One armor rebuy, we've had one kill, that's it from Zeta. I like the idea from Zeta, right? They had to smoke over towards heaven, they had to smoke here. They tried to TP into the smoke, TP over towards the rafters, but for sure, they were pretty much on top of it.
The way they're going to fall back behind the toxic
they're pretty much on top of it. They just were on top of it.
You can throw some util then right on the B site potentially.
My faults on Estrella during DRX. Do we need to see what's going on? We need to wait. I can't have too many faults on it yet. But I think he played well when he was on RRQ.
But for Zeta, got guns in hand now. There's still quite a few weapons available for RRQ, of course, as well. The judge is something to be considered.
With the IGLs, 1 and 1.
Mega aggressive here. Now there is some angles being held. Sugar Zero along with the breach. XDL just waiting this out. Oh boy.
Double drift across Jemkin. Now trying to go for that
wide
swing.
Timing on that one is a little bit unlucky.
With that kill, still had plenty.
Trying to win the round on the bonus when they group together.
So for now, just solid timing here for Zeta Division, getting themselves that first blood in the round. So they look to try to stop
look too good to change at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. Well, it was an interesting
a little bit more
pickup.
The older style of Zeta, with XQQ really taking the reins again as the head coach. Like this trap play or this position from Cushy.
It's going to be at risk, and there you go. Solid headshot. Clues able to put him down. A site now wide open for the taking. As it looks like it is going to be just usher forward, plant out into the open for the most part here from Clues. Get that Armageddon online. Great winger.
Looking clean on this though as well.
Showtime finding Monyet. Zeta Division looking for a flawless of their own. Off the angle here is XDL. Crazy Guy going to be taken down, and Xpharaoh just with a judge at screens. He's got nowhere to go. He's getting collapsed upon. Showtime coming around from the back. And widely, Zeta should be able to just go ahead and seal the deal on a flawless round.
Yeah, this is a really nice piece of work from Zeta.
It's a good sign from them.
Just holding their ground in mid, winning that fight up towards ramp. A little bit of an off timing. If Cushy stays in that corner, he might pick up 1 or 2, but just didn't really have a good read on what was going on in the map. Did RRQ after losing those players in mid, so opted to kind of push out to see if he could see if any Zeta players had already been crossing in his direction while they were right up underneath his nose when he chose to do so. Paid the price. XDL, man, I've been really impressed with him and Clues so far here in stage 1. Obviously, Depp is Depp. Depp is good, but really it's the initiators who've been shining.
Solid way to go ahead, deny the bonus conversion. Let's see how they fare in the follow-up, though. Full rifles across the board available to RRQ. 2 players with half armor. Ult's still a ways away for both of these teams. The breach is out.
Okay, heavy take for middle. Stun, salvo. Wait.
Clear space here. Xpharaoh going to be stunned up a crazy guy. Situated.
Wait, how's he allowed to just chill there?
Pushing out from beyond. That poison orb ends up getting picked apart. XCL tagged up as well. Down to 30. And already around starting to get away from Zeta Division.
Zeta there. Maybe
Weird.
hoping that RRQ would
They kind of like missed their...
the front of the ramp.
I don't know if they missed their combo or if there's meant to be a gap here and there's meant to be some spam. Or the smoke wasn't like flush enough, and normally you would see them if you TP up towards here. But I'm not sure. Pharaoh should make that look as easy as he just did. I also do like the idea of how Zeta deal with the Viper smoke over towards middle, right? This TP over towards here is like heavy underrated. It's something that people use against Celsius a little bit when he does try and disrespect behind the smoke.
By that paranoia, Zeta widely going to be contained here. Needing to show it to be able to find some kind of break in this heaven position. He's able to do so. Xpharaoh going to be taken down. 2, however, still down here on the floor. It's going to be crazy guy coming away with 3.
Okay, he did great, and then he kind of he knew he was heaven, and he kind of just went for the clip.
Spike picked up,
but I get it.
Should be able to at least get the plant here, perhaps. But I mean, salvos are still there. Half draws it out. It's going to force him forward, but he has, I believe, double stack, nice. So comes away with that
crazy
kill.
guy still won the round though.
Gonna let
as much as I'm
Zeta get back into this one and
wanting him to tuck in, he did great.
So Zeta off the rip tries to go for a set play to get Depp involved in the game, and instead it's a good backpedaling there by RRQ to make sure that Depp isn't able to really do any damage, so they're able to avoid that initial util dump. But some good things for Zeta in this round in terms of Siota finding value on the lurks again, using their util properly to at least keep Monyet off balance. Now he's able to reach.
Does feel like we're just counting down the days until we see enough,
still,
but
some good ideas similar to that pistol round here with the util dump from
still wasn't
RRQ.
here yet.
They're trying to clear the space this time though. They don't throw any bodies at it.
Let's hype this round up a little bit because it is a big round.
Try to get him
we got
the kill in the TPO.
4 here that come by next. You got 3 here that come by next. And Jempkin doesn't have a TP.
Second one. Jempkin delaying for a moment.
Yeah.
Takes the quick hop on that
They nearly caught him at a good time.
Both teams widely going to back away from this fight over A main. Once again, looking like heavy attention from Zeta Division over towards mid.
Yeah, it seems to be a real big piece of their game plan on this map is to make the other team uncomfortable up there and then set up for those crunches towards the sites.
As soon as this drone went out over towards A,
anybody off guard, RRQ isn't giving those fights
everyone
mid, so
rotated in.
is going to call for a group up towards A.
From Zeta,
already RRQ sensing it because they haven't seen anybody over on the other parts of the map.
And there was no pressure over towards middle. They kept this the whole time. Yeah, this is looking a little bit rough from Zeta, but maybe they can force their way over towards site. The problem is this breach or is just going to annihilate them.
Position to try to slow things up on that approach, but Shota just able to get a stray headshot across. It's going to be Cushy taken down, rolling. Then they're going to be sent out. And just a couple
16
players
seconds.
Here in main as well as Sugar Zero, just desperately trying to claw his way into the corner, but Jempkin is here, and it's just a firing squad as everyone is lined up and mowed down. No time to play with the stick. Having to come through, but it's going to be a tap. Depp looking for it.
Oh my god. The tap with the time is really, really bold, but it's paid off. He had to get the jewel.
Damn, if it isn't costly for both sides.
And
well, it looked like
Monyet gets caught out, looking foolish.
Run over in that round. Just absolutely ground to dust as they try to come through towards the site. Huge kill here for Shota through the smokes. Then yeah, the Rolling Thunder lands. They just start walking down the ramp. At Jempkin, trying to find the right angles, expecting them to keep peeking forward, sort of pre-fires into it. But Depp there knows that he either has to stick it or go for the kill.
Yeah, the guts of it are strong though.
RRQ was already going to be there.
5 seconds left if he fake taps and no one's peeking him. I feel like no matter what happened here, someone was going to look foolish.
Looked like it was going to go RRQ's way. So even though this timeout,
because if Monyet's not out here peeking, then Depp doesn't look smart.
Before.
Yep.
Like, he took the risk and he called it right.
Won't claim to know the specifics about, you know, whether or not you can cancel a timeout request, but either way, don't think it's too incorrect, because, you know, you don't want to be winning, you know, rounds like that.
Yeah.
It's not the most reliable strategy. Need to have some cleaner ideas and not be crucially running the clock down, which is something that Zeta have been ridiculed for, let's say, in the past. They've been better about it here in 2025.
Yeah, I'd like to see them mix it up.
Hero gun, the big
there, especially when you
impact
have
rounds
thunder
goes the way of Zeta. So kind of worth 2 unless they mess up. Oh, dude, they keep this one real simple. We're just getting
post plant and win around. But there's so much to delay util, obviously, with both of these teams running mirror comps.
It just doesn't.
With the breaches, so you're trying to fish that out.
Teo just doesn't feel right.
To see them,
it just isn't right.
If they hit a rolling thunder here, I think they're trying to set up for a mid hit using the utility.
It's
from
so
Garage,
much free
from XDL,
util.
To potentially set up depth and clues. Just see if
I feel like whatever nerf they do to Teo, it's not going to be big enough.
Going to use the util there to try to get some info. They're going to see that ropes is clear. You do have Xpharaoh hiding behind all that. Re-clears that space behind the util itself. So this gives RRQ pretty good idea. Yeah, this is going to be B. And everybody's already over here. So this has to be a just gorgeous util dump.
Do you shoot the TP?
Comes the rolling thunder. Gate crash out. Don't believe it connects onto anyone here.
The Pharaoh did pretty good here. It's a bold strat from Zeta. It's cool though. It's something new.
Unfortunately, it's looking like similar scenes here for Zeta Division. The clock running lower and lower. She'll be able to find one. Cushy going to be taken down. TP and crossover.
Wait, they hear the Omenal. Do you go B? 15 seconds left. They decide to go over towards B with the 2-pass and fake. And honestly, they might actually get the plant down here, because I'm looking at Monyet again, and he might have made another misplay.
Down the plant coming through now onto the B site. 3 players from Zeta in position, but weapons now scooped up.
It's a risky fake for Zeta, but it worked.
Pit invested, but here comes the dimensional drift. Jemkin. Just scout forward into this.
I'm really surprised Monyet moved here, because
outskirts of the pit,
you would imagine if you Omen ult, they're going to pivot B.
Likely gets the read that Shilta's going to be positioned over towards Alley. Time is ticking. Sugar Zero going to hold the line. Finds one. Gun down. The Stinger coming away with one. XDL turns back. Finds Monyet. Crazy guy at this point. Just trying to see if he can do some additional damage. But with the weapon in hand,
I think they got a timeout.
Look to save.
Can't really criticize Monyet in the 1v1 too much. This, however, this was a huge misplay by him.
One survivor on RRQ.
This should be an unwinnable round from Zeta.
This is a wild round here by Zeta.
And Monyet is
the rolling thunder and a quick TP
really out of position.
Really nicely from RRQ. They're doing a good job of avoiding.
Like, his Omen ult reaction to then cancel is incredible. To then push over towards B, that is. It's a shocker.
Split into 2-2. You know, just saying. We don't know where they are.
Because again, as soon as this Omen ult comes in, you're expecting them to go B.
Good read.
Like, I think I even said it. And for him then to push all the way like this is...
He does. A Bucky in hand. It's just a TP across to get to the back pillar. Continuing this scout.
I still like Zeta's idea, right? They had a little, they had a breach all into a TP in behind this box. Kind of like this idea.
Is able to collect one.
Get the Bucky on the Bucky and the Yoro all round as well.
Drone going to be cleared out here from Cushy. 4v5 for the attempt at the retake. Zeta upping the pace this time around. Like they certainly caught some players of RRQ a bit off guard.
Yeah, we see the Yoru change over towards main there.
Salvo's going to be set. XCL forced out into the open when he doesn't have bullets remaining in the mag. RRQ. Flood their way back into the
good plant for Heaven.
A 2v2. The taps coming through frantically, looking to try to get any kind of spot outs here. They know where Shilta's at, but I don't think they've confirmed depth at all. Pop flash going to be sent. The time is just working against them. RRQ.
It's nice from Zeta.
Nice shot from Shilta.
This was cool. They got some good set strats.
Zeta Division.
Even that first buy round where they tried to punish the middle holds. They got a little bit unlucky on. I think they got unlucky on the 4th round, but I think they got lucky on the round before this, so and it evened out well. They're doing some great stuff though. This was a cool round.
RRQ to do here except try a flood retake, and it looks like it might
It's like
go,
simple but effective, and I think that they had to do something like this because I was worried because they had 2 rounds that like got a little bit close time-wise.
In terms of impact, not just with the frags, but with the map control. And
the Genji Genji game was like a solid mix of both. Like Genji looked good, but honestly, DFM's DFM's cooling and just fragging was just not really there.
I mean, at the say that they only have 1, but like the guy.
Yeah.
You know.
The guy who is unfortunately eating during the ace.
Yeah, it's like beach.
Like if you watch DFM's attack cooling, I would be flaming a team in 2022 for playing like that.
It's been a weird one so far.
Yeah.
4-3, tight between the 2 teams. With 7 rounds played, we've had both teams having to use a timeout.
DFM or Team Secret?
Well, you're seeing some depth from both
It's hard because DFM can play way better than how they played. But from what I've seen so far, I'd probably say Secret.
Some pretty good ideas early. Now Zeta's made a few adjustments post their timeout. So now it's time for RRQ.
Is that bad for DFM? I think their Lotus was really
towards the points of attack here. Maybe see if you can find those early picks again, like you did on the pistol round. Might be something to consider, but you can be a bit careful, of course, with the Armageddon in play and with the weaker weaponry.
Okay, 3 in a row for Zeta. RRQ got an eco.
Because, well, you're on an eco and your opponents aren't. They're on low money too.
Damn, they get Dep hit incredibly early.
Do some economic damage potentially. Dep's gonna get into the corner. Use a drone to try to lead.
But again, I like that. I like that every time they go over towards middle, they're TPing here in case they try and fight behind the Viper smoke.
Some kind of response. But with Zeta having this much mid control, could be pretty tricky now.
They spotted the Vandal though.
Huh.
So the one weapon held forward is going to be noted. Jemkin just going to be calling the timing. Sugar Zero, putting him down, avoiding damage taken. And he can continue to play split away from the rest of the team. Has that ult to join back in instantaneously. As Dep does get noted in mid.
Good reaction from them. Comes down to Farah.
But all it takes is that
he pushes forward. Mate, your smoke's about to go down.
Oh.
They completely misread it.
God.
Now the TP forward here into the A side. Sugar Zero can stick this. Just a ghost in hand for Xfaro. No peek to be had. Getting the Armageddon out. Be a nice little consolation here for RRQ. Pushy on a flank.
Go ahead.
Yep. Might be able to find a timing.
Snaky, thank you so much, dude.
XCL going to be taken down. Now they're
Snaky GG with the 10 gifted. Thank you. As the double tail comes in.
Try to clear outside back sight. Monyet going to be hounded down though. Crazy guy swing out. Eliminated. It's now just Xfaro and Sugar Zero.
Snaky GG, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate that. Chat, you know, 3 slug oiler spam going. Brings you up to 55 altogether as well, Snaky. Thank you for the support, mate. If anyone got gifted, please at Snaky GG. Say thank you.
What's really cool about this, a lot of great counter moves being made.
Thank
this is actually the backbreaker for RRQ. They might actually win this round if Jemkin doesn't get caught in the corner there. But off the back of their ultimate, Zeta Division's Shota pushes right at the back of the Armageddon as you know he's following the waves of it, and Monyet actually kind of reads that might be possible. Throws a paranoia out, it gets dodged by Shota, and Monyet gets caught off guard because of it. He thought he had that clear.
Okay. That is.
Goodbye, Dep.
That's a punish of the default for sure.
It did not. Xfaro, however, going ahead, keeping them with a very solid advantage. So 2 players down. Tap the smokes. Now Shota going to be noted here in the corner. Really stunned up.
Well, this is
Nicky GG was the one who gave me my first sub, and now on the 19th. Damn, dude. The OG gifter.
Let them group up.
Did he fail the flash? I mean, the flash is like...
Obviously, that late poison cloud.
The flash isn't for the guy that killed him, I guess is the issue.
Okay, well, we know we've
like,
given up that
they
space.
don't expect anyone
ropes,
to be in front of their wall.
Be relatively A-okay. Monyet just jiggling.
3v5. Xfaro tucked here into the corner. Salvo's not going to clear him out. Surely they have to get a read on this one.
Wait, how on earth did he win that?
Go ahead and get the pivot, finds that shot.
One enemy remaining.
XDL eliminated, and now it's just Clues all alone.
Dude, Clues was stunned up though, and he won this duel. Back to sight.
He's going to look to pivot back across over towards his B site, but you've got
not the duel that was on screen, chat. The duel like this.
Got the time for the plan, but not the time to go ahead and find his way through the hordes of RRQ players. So we'll just end up backing away into mid to hold on to the weapon. And RRQ go ahead, break this minor win streak from Zeta Division, bring it back to just a single round.
Okay, nice for RRQ, especially as they get a lot of survivors.
RRQ being a lot more proactive with the space that they're giving up.
I reckon there's a shot here. I reckon there's a good shot from Heaven. Do we get a replay?
Zeta, ball's in your court. The adjustment has been made. Oh, jeez Louise. On yet there. Just through the smoke.
It's the only one we didn't see.
Clean. That's clean. Looks like we're going to do a bit of a push through. Jemkin's going to throw a TP back. They're going to try to set up a bit of a mid hit. Expecting something from Zeta.
Jemkin quick peek. Sugar Zero dead.
Didn't even need the util. Just took him down.
Salva's trying to force him away, but Xfero whippy on the shots, ends up dying. Jemkin's still here, however, fights back from stairs. Depp now on the floor. Clears out the drone. They don't really learn anything new that they didn't already know.
You gotta try a different part of the map now. XDL with just a sheriff over there on B. Has the one-way in front of him. Has to back up a little bit.
I'm not super convinced from that B hold at the moment. That'll do it.
Starting to maybe heat up a bit. 3K for him.
Did EDG win today?
Spike in position for a plant, so some money.
I mean, they should be fine.
In the hands of Zeta Division.
But
as well as
EDG,
that next Armageddon.
Man, EDG look odd sometimes.
Down into mid. XCL just going on a bit of a walkabout here. It seems like they want to try to explore their options a little bit more, but Jemkin is now on for an ace.
Do they... How much do they respect this guy?
Definitely doable, but
so he plays the one before.
Okay. To him. Prefer to give it to Crazy Guy if possible, just for the ult charge. He's already got his ult. He's already feasting. Let someone else eat.
Well, he's going to be denied it. As Clues is just able to fight back. And not going to get an attempt at pulling off a Munchkin. No 1v3 here. We'll just be cushy, putting him down.
I wonder if Zeta want to call the timeout if he's just fine.
Tying us up at 5-5.
Breach tail, your breach tail, your breach tail, your
Majority of these rounds on how Zeta
we gotta get this. We gotta get a tail enough soon.
Kind of get involved in the game.
Ooh, I was looking at their B default,
that was set up from
and I'm just like,
use some util. They don't
how have they taken so much space in the first 10 seconds without any risk for free?
Was just knocking people down.
Like they actually made it so they could take the B orb
they do a good job of shutting
for
down,
free within the first like 10 seconds.
See a little bit of a different look from Zeta. A lot of their game plan has come on the back of throw some utility, throw dep in, see what happens, and mostly it hasn't gone great. And they're able to play recovery off the back of that. There they go again. This time they're able to sneak him.
Would I nerf the damage, man?
Good deep smoke this time
so,
from Zero.
Just everything about the salvos.
Try to watch for a player coming through, but it's noted. They understand what happened there. So now Depp just has to try to work through on his own. Not much information otherwise. You're not going to get a little bit off that drone. You're just going to find Jemkin who's got an op. That's good, though. That's a huge, huge find.
You play the game in a new way, just not the most enjoyable way. Yeah.
For a second, I thought they were going to check up there. And it's like, oh boy.
Like, it hasn't got out of control when I'm watching it. Like, it's still relatively fun, but I am starting to, like, lean to the side of... When I see those salvos come in, I'm just like, oh, man.
Eliminated. Up on the floor. Cushy, quick to go ahead and trade it back.
I think it's just because it requires no fort as well.
Xfero tucking back, avoiding the stun, hearing all of
it's still relatively hard to retake. They got breach ult.
Shots through. Fake out. Dissipating. The spike now going to be planted here by Clues, who's going to be one away from having that Armageddon online. Rolling Thunder at the ready.
Dude, Zeta go for the breach lock. They knew the ult was coming in. Everyone plays off site.
Gets caught. Zeta Division
Nice from them, though.
Did
Did expect a double lock. Can't we even stop the defuse? Can't even stop the defuse. Oh boy. I mean, it was nice from Zeta because obviously they're like playing off site for the oh, but the double lock.
Some great decisions on both sides. I like what Siota's doing. He's the one who's able to open up a little bit of
double
extra
lock
space,
in a 4v4.
RRQ able to respond in kind to take him out quickly. They use that opportunity to get the plant down, try to go for the deep post plants, but just get really torn apart there by RRQ. Didn't have the salvos in cycle yet from Clues, so they weren't able to kind of play that the way they wanted to. You are going to have the Armageddon.
Double up.
Yeah, double op. Why
double
not?
up. We got backup gun, the stun to make sure that no one can capitalize off of your Viper roll once you do it. Really worried for this Viper roll. Where it doesn't have much place to hide. Two missiles, no cooldown. Let them use each missile independently. Yeah, but then the agent's dead. Only two.
There that you get the Armageddon out of the way with this pit. You can lure them into the operator, but so far Zeta's able to mostly kind of work their way around it. They've got complete mid control. Op was passed over or dropped, excuse me, by Crazy Guy.
3 could work. 3 could work, and you can only use 2 max.
It's a great stun. That delays Zeta even more.
Jumpkin spotting out 1. As Crazy Guy just trying to hold things down.
Yeah, I think what they'll go for is they up the recharge price. They'll just do 50. I think they'll do 55-second cooldown. That's more in line with like what they normally do.
Into the triple stack at B. Flash not going to be finding much of anything there as the Armageddon does get sent down. Oh, Cushy hitting the one-tap depth, going to be put down on the floor. The repeat is Jemkin coming away with 2. Not ready for Clues there, or Clues rather, at drop. Does end up falling, but goes now with everything to do and just not that much time to try to make it happen. Swing onto the corner.
Very nice in the end from RRQ. Really stabilized towards the end here.
Now it's going to be RRQ recovering the half, now up 7-5.
Yeah, not a bad half though for Zeta. I think you're pretty content with getting 5 on your attacker side. You have to feel like your defense can be pretty clean. I'm not sure what this Armageddon was though. That one's a little weird from Clues. Basically, the only thing it clears is just right underneath the Raptors. That's by the box, by Alley. Okay. Anyway. Still though,
make the
you're able to string enough
iPad
together
radius shorter.
Enough, to seemingly make this look
if it was like a lot shorter, then I'd be down.
For RRQ and attacker side, that the last time we saw it was completely ineffective.
Even then, though, it still doesn't really change the main issue.
Gotta love the hype man there, letting him know. A lot of Zeta fans, of course. I'm sure we had a lot of fans come over from Japan today.
Yeah, looking for something to cheer for, frankly, just to be blunt, after the first series. And a bit more action, a bit more lively.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team that gives Japan the most hope.
Like you said, overall, scoreline, not too bad, but I think still could have been better.
Yeah.
A lot of those rounds getting worked down to the wire, dangerously close to running out of time. And RQ just had an overall very solid initial read as far as what the game plan is going to be from Zeta. There's been some solid adjustments, some good lurks to make this a bit more contentious, but let's see how they fare. RQ able to take that opening pistol. Zeta now looking to go ahead and equalize the count.
For sure. Looks like Zeta gonna throw a few bodies at A themselves in the early part of the round, but RRQ is anticipating that there's gonna be a push out somewhere on the map.
Is Zeta do the same pistol as them?
It's actually A, but Xpharaoh playing safe the whole way through.
Both teams did the same pistol. Zeta put 3 people behind this.
Okay, that's where they got
The
aggressive.
only real diff.
Maybe gonna fan out more. Maybe try to reestablish mid control.
RQ
shift over to the other side.
create pressure over towards middle, insta group over towards A because it's where they went aggro, so they think the one person's set up. You can see they're pretty much right.
Have one available, so he's just planted here to fight. Oh, Moniette is just gonna go ahead and wide swing out. Breaks his crosshair. Clues. Lingering in behind, has to be
Farrah's holding, but is he actually... Oh, okay, he's really on it.
Quite well, but Xpharaoh with that frenzy. It just picks him to pieces.
A good reposition from him. And we got the luck over towards
the
middle.
Corner here for Zeta Division as Xfero pulls back now deeper into main. Paranoia out, Jimkin able to find Shota. And this pistol is looking damn good for the side of RRQ.
They got a... I mean, it was a nice call in the pistol, right? It makes sense. Re-clear over towards A. They took mid in reaction, or at least create pressure over towards mid, like they were taking in reaction. Then just, they know they're setting the one up. Easy call. Go over towards where the one is.
On one side of the map. You had an aggressive push out that really didn't amount to much on the A side, so now let's go back that way. And Crazy Guy the whole time just ends up lurking.
Pierre, good morning, mate. Good morning.
Comes through, and that's why he's able to catch the Zeta players off guard on ramps initially. They're not anticipating that somebody could quite be there so quick. And really just well thought out, well set up.
Yeah, they're allowed 2 deaths on this.
Streamer cam set up, just aimed at his hand.
That's all you need to see.
It's just like, yeah.
Got the backup shorty.
Yeah, don't look at my face. Look at my hands.
That's where he's getting the work.
What was my favorite meta to watch? Honestly, probably Chamber.
Got a shorty for backup here to step.
Chamber was fun because it was like individual skill, really.
Anticipating some pressure.
I did enjoy. Honestly, I did enjoy the Sky recharge flash meta. Like the amount of mind games that were on in that, like as a minimap watcher, is probably one of the most fun.
Instead, they're just getting a ton of info off Xfero.
Sky was an underrated meta, yeah. It was like smart to just watch stuff. It looked fun to be an IGL in that meta, basically.
And Clues just gets destroyed.
You could just outsmart people, you'd have to duel them.
Ready to meet them. They just don't know what's hitting them here. Xfero absolutely taking over the round.
One enemy
As well, Concuss will connect, gets a bit of damage there onto Shota. Puts him down to 70. Ghost now going to be picked up, but they're fanned out. They're in control. RRQ up by 4 as they hit 9.
Yeah, they keep all the guns. Got to rebuy 1 armor.
I think it was.
Wait, what?
Because Shota didn't get. There was no assist on that kill.
Oh,
and Viper do not have a stun. Yeah, okay. I mean, just nasty stuff from Xfero. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happens.
It happens.
Viper has stun, bro.
Viper has stun, bro.
Well, clearly still having fun with it. Outlaw now in play. Only 1 half armor on the side of Zeta.
That's depth. And he's in mid, so
Cover going out.
that's the direction Monyet wants to go. But right now, Monyet looking to try to deal with Sugar Zero. You know that's going to be your opponent over on this B side 90% of the time. He's usually quite good.
Wait, what is this buffing in middle?
Sugar uses that to hide himself, has to.
The drone,
pop the
like,
smoke.
did this, just avoided the smoke, just jump each time.
Flash sent.
Okay, boss B, and it all comes down to Sugar Zero.
Shots here.
How do you deal with the TP? Well, they know where he is now.
Oh, should have caught a tiny little pixel out of place.
It's a really good TP from him. He knows he's going to get Uto dumped.
The flash through, off angle taken. Does manage to find a bit of damage and showed that blinded
The flash was incredible as well.
Picks off Monyet. Salvo's now going to be sent out. RQ held at bay. Sugar Zero swinging on the corner, finds one more. Cushy going to be taken down here as Clues comes in. It's now down to Xfero.
Really doable.
7. Weapon swapped over. Some time to go ahead and get the reload off. Could be winnable, but doesn't check down below.
Sugar Zero played this great. I think there was some Uto to stop him from swinging, otherwise it would have had like a really nice double swing as well off of the contact.
Yeah, I really like the way that Sugar Zero plays this round.
No, he plays it great, yeah. Breaks the TP, sorry, breaks the Euro TP. TP's over towards site. Flash hit 3.
And then playing to wait for the rest of the team there.
Yeah, and then he's just playing for time.
Retake for Zeta. They're able to, or not a retake, but just good defense there. Able to shut him down pretty nicely. However, money wasn't so great, so they're going to have a Stinger and a Guardian, full rifles for the side of RRQ. Zeta's just going to
Is that enough?
Looking for a crunch. Xfero considering a peek back through. Stays quiet, avoids the stealth drone. Now is going to scale forward, potentially be able to find a catch here on to Clues. Oh, here's the orb being taken.
Oh, God.
And yeah,
Oh,
just
that'll do
absolutely
it.
rips him to
While
shreds.
that's
In the
been going
meantime,
on, the whole team's
A side,
XX'd
yeah,
over
thank you.
towards A, by the way.
Spike is being planted.
But now they're going to fast go.
After
Crazy
shot
guy
37,
gets
but it's
a good plant for
off
Heaven,
kilter.
so can they trade space? They're just locked in towards site.
Smoking to Heaven gone. XCL picking up one. So a 4v4. Still this very deep lurk coming through.
Such a
from
weird
Xfaro.
round.
Spawn yet. Tries to hold things down here at main. Smoke, however, going to be cycled in a bit too late. Sugar Zero pushes forward, finds one, but now Xfaro strikes. Cushy's still here behind the screen to back sight. We'll pick apart the remaining two. And that's RRQ not allowing for any kind of back-to-back action.
Two
here.
people
This
can't
second
buy
half,
from
Zeta gonna be
Zeta
held
on
at
this.
bay at 6 as they get up to double digits.
I love the game plan here from Xfaro. Just being so cautious as that lone player on the extremities of the map. We saw it early in the game on the pistol round where he was just kind of waiting to see what they do. And this time around, instead of just calling in the reinforcements, he just plays for himself. Says, I'm just going to wait him out a little bit, see if I can catch him off guard. And he does it perfectly. And even though Zeta tries to react quickly to that A hit, they're just thrown completely off balance. And the crossfires are in place for RRQ, and they're set up very, very nicely. Clue's just going for a timing shot there. Nobody home for RRQ. They're tucked in, nestled, waiting to see if anybody else from Zeta is going to try to ruin their round, but nobody really looking to do so.
And so they get a lot of info.
Throwing up the toxic screen.
Surprised he doesn't throw a TP to the back of site here.
So that's going to probably pull some
Maybe because he's only got one and they want to save it for the XSAC. But in an ideal world, that TP to back of site is causing so much trouble, and then I feel like you could just send it.
They're really nervous about some kind of trap or something like that being set up. And rightly so, it's split and going against a team on an eco. I get it.
Okay, there goes his last TP in the end.
3 Sheriffs, Classic, and a Ghost here. Zeta, thrifty win here. Could be enough to try to get themselves back into the action, but Depp, caught by Jemkin. Goes up and over the top, reads it beautifully.
Oh man, look at him, he's just done everything. Now he joins his team for the hit.
A site open here for the taking. Poison Orb just bounces up into Heaven. As CL needing to try to find that kill, but Monyet's got covering fire.
managed to get the orb as well, gets his ult into the next big buy round.
Not much more to be done
Ever since they switched halves, RRQ just looked great.
Stay collected together.
Wait, what's happened to this camera?
To go off.
Like the streamer setup.
Very difficult. RRQ being so diligent. Oh, Cushy. Steps right into that smoke.
Look at the hand cam, yeah.
Zero does manage to find one, so it's not going to be a flawless.
Just realized, yeah, dude, I haven't been looking at.
Like
I look at the mini map most of the
go
time.
ahead and pick up that
He's been like this the whole game.
We'll just leave it where it is. Suspects that it's going to be watched, and he would be correct. So we'll just go ahead and go down to the spike. RRQ.
Looked like he had a kind of low sense though. Either that or he's just swinging his mouse around.
I think Zeta still has one more, right?
They do.
Yeah, okay. So
both teams have one remaining. We had 2 timeouts burn in the first 7 rounds, and then radio silence.
But I think that would be a good time for one. There's still a chance to turn this map around. It's not going to be easy. RRQ looks really sharp today. Again, you know, the big problem for them against Nongshim on this map, right, was that
There's a chance Paper X might go winless.
Too slow. They
I
were
mean,
too
yeah,
diligent.
there is for sure a chance, dude. It's relatively high chance.
RRQ, so I'm willing to kind of give that a pass.
Especially if I keep picking them.
But now they're being a lot more decisive towards the end of the round. Like, once they find that open space, once they feel like they've got the read, they just go for it. And Jemkin's just drive-bying with some flashes.
See here,
Depp's like,
empty
nah,
side. Nice timing of the salvos into the end of the ult, though. This is a nice strat.
Site going to be opened up, stealth drone. Maybe catching a
We
quick
get into good off the palm positions, the Viper as well.
Doesn't really tell them anything they wouldn't have already known, and because that suppresses and go off, the pit is now in play.
They got double luck on this one. Not sure they need to double luck. I would prefer my own, and especially with the Viper ult to have like flash here for this. Because you know the space they're gonna take, but doesn't matter when Jemkin's wrecking everyone. Dude, this is a nice strat though. I like this a lot. The timing of the salvos into the end of the ult is really cool. Like this has been
changes in tempo here.
It's been dry run on.
This is something you love to see. And it's so hard
servers
to
for
read
sure.
as defenders. You know, yes, you have the Aura ultimate. Yes, that makes it easier to do
He's
that.
surviving at 1
But
HP
then
as well.
getting to a place where you can put that pit, have good value. You know, Depp's got an op. He's basically nullified, stuck in the back
Also
of
another
alley
bit
without
promoted to
any
G head
angles to
coach.
watch
I mean,
because
let's
the
see what
pit's
he's
right in
got.
his damn face.
At least from
Good
what I
luck.
could see, he did pretty good micro stuff.
Jemkin's just all
But
over it.
it's a big
Great
change
round
up
from
now. He's
him.
got a lot of
Last
responsibility.
ditch effort as Armageddon sent out
The timing.
very early here, and I mean, crazy guy dead.
Down
XCL coming away with that one, but the trade is in. As Jemkin keeps the numbers evened up. Rolling Thunder still in the back pocket. This drone does identify the breach's position, so RRQ know that if they decide to continue pushing forward towards A, that Rolling Thunder could greet them very quickly.
Now Depp
Had the crazy guy die.
to use his
They do a set
figure out
strat
what's
where they
going on.
like
They lost complete control of that part of the map.
they damage here with the salvos. Sorry, with
Now
the
Rolling Thunder's
Teo.
gone.
Depp,
Jemkin just kills
Oh,
him.
oh
is
my
salvo
God.
salvo,
Depp had spotted him,
and then they
XTL's
breach
like,
damage
yeah,
like this
I
area.
got this. No, you don't. Oh boy.
So it's let me do it with squares. You can see
Hinges.
salvo
Getting looser
salvo
and looser
breach
here. The door
damage.
about to fly off. Sparrow creeps forward, gets over towards drop.
Oh my God.
Scouted. I mean, Kemp lands on his damn head. Koba stops him, but that doesn't do it. A lick of damage.
I mean, it was looking
13 to
close,
6.
and then it just wasn't.
RRQ, a bit
basically.
of a wonky
It's
start.
a really
very
nice attack from
weird
them.
Map of split in the first half, but then just clean